Alrighty, everybody. I'm WIS First Alert Meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli. A good Saturday to you. We're going to be first alerting you into what's going on this weekend with some heat really working to bubble up for the region, a tropics update, and we're going to, of course, see how all this can impact us in the short term and also over the course of the next week. So I'm going to be bringing you forward here. We're going to be settling on in. Let's take, of course, a first check here on those tropics. This is just going to be an update I want to give you guys for the morning before we get to more of the local impacts, the heat that we got right now, a first alert weather day. But this is going to be now an upgrade from the National Hurricane Center for what can become Tropical Storm Ernesto. Looks like it likely will. It's going to be going into a very favorable part of the Atlantic, and there's not going to be much to stop it. Greater and Lesser Antilles, those smaller island nations to our south. So over the next 2 days, 30% chance to form, 80% if you give it a week. So I'm very, of course, on the side of 5-6 days, at least, probably even 4. We could easily get this to be named Ernesto and have some cyclonic formation. Actually going to be seeing this as an impactful storm, unless it goes through the projected track and banks back out into the Atlantic. So let's, of course, see that right now, where all models are looking to have this go as we bring you on forward and as we go towards the next 120 hours. All right, 120 hours, really going through this. We do see a good bit of the storm making a push through, smaller nations, St. Kitts down towards Martinique, going towards even a little bit of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, possibly, if it banks a little bit further towards the west. Either way, there's still a lot to go in terms of how the storm forms, how it's going to track, but at least in terms of a positive sense, I have seen a lot of model runs longer term. I'm not going to get into this too far because there's still so much that can happen, but a lot of models long range want this to bank back out to the Atlantic Ocean as opposed to continue towards the southeastern U.S. So hopefully that will happen as we see it out and we go down the road, and either way, we'll make sure to keep you updated morning, afternoon, evening, as we happen to get any new updates or more short range models start to come into play as we work to go on. So again, this is going to be as we go very much in the way of towards the later phase of next week. Once all is said and done, we'll see what's going on here, but likely to see Tropical Storm Ernesto form. It's just a matter of how many days that's going to happen, and of course we'll see with this track as it comes together. Let's continue on now locally as we bring you to hot and humid conditions. It's going to be a high near 94 today. It is going to be a toasty one out there with feel-like temps approaching 111 degrees. So be ready for it. Make sure you're taking part in all your sun and heat safety, my friends. This is going to be something as we ease our way into the weekend. I want to make sure you're really continuing to take serious. I understand at this point of the summer, people are already accustomed and acclimated to the heat, but just because of that cool down we had from Debbie, now this is just going to feel a little bit hotter. You get that summer to fight back the intense heat, and it's all going to be there. So be prepared for this as we get to the middle of the day. Very light clothing, good idea. Make sure you're eating right, replacing those electrolytes if you are taking part in a lot of that outdoor activity, which on a Saturday like this, I know a lot of people will be. School's starting, kids are heading back to college. It's just going to be a weekend now following up a tropical storm. People want to soak up some sun. I get it, but you got to be careful out there, and you're not going too crazy out there in the heat. Make sure you're checking on your other friends, family, those around you, and your pets. Protect your furry friends out there. Big, big day to make sure you're bringing them inside, and of course keeping up that car heat safety as well. Please. Going out, speaking of cars, we will be seeing a quick check here on our traffic cameras through SCDOT. Looking beautiful for a lot of travels. I really haven't seen too many problems out there. A couple minor incidents, but nothing, again, on our interstates that's causing lane closures. This is just off of St. Andrews, of course. Good little hustle and bustle for this Saturday with the sun shining. Temperatures getting hotter out there. Looking to see a lot of these temps cooking already, almost 90 degrees. And we're just past 11 o'clock for Columbia, Lexington, Sumter. You go out towards Newberry, Saluda, Batesburg, Leesville, 88, 87. Still, of course, not that big of a difference. Winnsboro, a little cooler at 86. Down near Orangeburg, it'll be 90. So all of that will continue to bubble up into the day along with this as well. I want to make sure you're not just thinking about the heat, but also making sure you are staying, just vigilant, because we can get these little pop-up spotty storms as we are also accustomed to, and that's going to be something that settles back in with this pattern. So 3-4 p.m. towards 5-6, it's all going to be a factor. So make sure you are just watching out and, you're listening for those rumbles of thunder. You might need to duck stuck inside for at least a brief period. This isn't going to be a widespread swath of storms. It's going to be very small and pinpointed. But either way, make sure, of course, you are thinking about that if you're going to be outside for a while. All right, just be safe out there. It is going to be that type of summer day. Going overnight, we calm down. Sunday morning, nice, just very muggy. And then as we go into the day again, I am more confident, I will say, from what I've seen with some model updates and just overall moisture, cold front trying to cut across the region. I think Sunday we'll see a little bit more of these showers and storms fill in. So make sure you're, of course, staying vigilant. And also, I want to add the point of with all these storms that could bubble up, even if they are a bit scattered, you can get some flash flooding instances here from the rain that we picked up from Debbie. Soils are saturated again, and obviously we could even see if some winds kick up, more trees down, getting uprooted, just because things are still so damp. It helped push us out of a drought, which is great, but it is now going to be giving us a better capacity for some spotty flooding in areas that are a little bit more vulnerable. So just all things to think about going into the weekend, where there will be plenty of folks trying to enjoy the outdoors, which I completely understand. Going overnight into Monday, we're going to start to see, more things calm down again. Monday morning, not too much going on, but we could still get, a few showers around for the afternoon, a little stray storm, but it looks like most of the activity will be further pushed down towards the coast and low country. It's a very slow-moving cold front, basically almost a stationary front, so that at least could give us a reprieve into Monday with some upper 80s for high temperatures. Today, gotta love this one. If, of course, you love campfires, you love summertime, s'mores. It is the s'more cast for your Saturday because it's National S'mores Day. So how about this, just in time for the weekend? But if taking part in anything such as this, maybe you are having a little campfire or something, or one of those little solo stoves, which are cool. You got the need to stay cool today. It's going to be an afternoon that gets very sweltering. The sun is already intense. I just stepped out a little bit before 11 o'clock and already can feel the tropical feels that are here for the Midlands. So this is all the right reasons in place why the National Weather Service has us in a heat advisory today, and why we're going with it as a first alert weather day. Not as much worried about the storms. Yeah, those will impact some communities out there, but it's more about that heat that is going to be very intense for today. So watch out for that. Sunday, we see the high temperatures take a little bit of a step back. Shouldn't see a heat advisory tomorrow. It's still going to be very hot for Sunday, but feel like temps likely 102 to 104. While today it's near 111. Again, that's a very intense heat index for this afternoon. And then once we start to see that very slow moving, almost stationary front pass, that's going to help cause these showers and storms. We do see rain chances dip back. They'll linger around into next week, so we'll still see some rain, but we will get a cooler spell of temperatures back to some upper and mid 80s. Thanks again for taking a check your first alert forecast updates, everyone. You could always find them on our live streams on social media and, of course, on our website, wistv.com. Right now, got the lead story on there for the website, and that's just talking about the heat and, of course, another update on the tropics. And we're going to keep, of course, updating you on what's going on with the potential for a tropical storm or NASTO to form in the next 3 to 4 days. So we're always staying vigilant for you guys. Thanks again for checking in, and have a great rest of your day. Be smart, be safe, and stay cool.